In this video, we're going to go over how changing the way you look at mistakes in the first place can help you manage mistakes during games. Hey there, I'm Eli Straw, mental performance coach and the founder of SuccessStarterThan.com. Now, this is the fourth video in the series on losing composure during games. Now, if you haven't watched the previous 3 videos where I talk about the true cause of losing your composure and in-the-moment strategy for managing your loss of composure, and then also a way that you can reframe your expectations, I've linked them in the description below. Now, there's one additional strategy or mindset shift that will keep you from losing your composure. It's going to focus solely on how you see mistakes in the first place. And we're really going to work on reframing what mistakes mean to you as an athlete. Right now, if you lose composure following a mistake, how would you say you view that mistake or all mistakes that you make in general? Do you see them as something bad? Do you see mistakes as things that need to be avoided at all costs and only mean one thing and one thing only? That you weren't good enough? If that's how you view mistakes, then it's no wonder that you get so upset over making them during practices or games. However, there is a different perspective that you can take, one that will shift the way that you look at mistakes, turning them from something to fear into something that's going to be more positive, productive, and helpful for you. But before we get into that mindset shift, I want to make one thing very clear. The goal is not to be happy about mistakes. Now, if you've watched the previous video, you've heard me say this before, because that's going to be ridiculous, right? And not to mention, honestly, unrealistic. The fact is, mistakes are frustrating and they are not at all what you set out to make during practices or games. You compete to play your best, not to mess up. So just because you're going to shift your perspective of mistakes, that doesn't mean we're going to shoot to the complete opposite end of the spectrum and feel happy after a mistake. What we are going to do, though, is begin seeing mistakes for what they truly are, just simply a learning experience. Mistakes are teachers, sometimes cruel teachers, but they are teachers nonetheless. And while their lessons may be tough to bear at times, they can lead to incredible improvement for you as an athlete. By reframing mistakes in this way, you strip away the fear, since there's no reason to be afraid about something that will honestly help you improve. But specifically what we're covering in this video, seeing mistakes as learning experiences will help limit the amount of frustration you feel following a mistake. Now, when you view mistakes as a teacher, this is going to help you in 2 ways. In the short term, keeping this idea in mind will help you remember to look for any lessons that can be gained from the mistake or adjustments that can be made during the game. And a great example of this is a baseball player that I was actually talking to this past week. We were going over this very same idea, talking about different ways that he can learn from his mistakes during a game. He talked about how, if he strikes out, something he could learn is to have better plate discipline, so swing at better pitches his next time up. And so then I asked him how he would actually use this information going into his next at-bat, and he told me he would just set the objective or set the approach for his at-bat to be disciplined and focus on swinging at good pitches. That is a simple example that shows the power viewing mistakes as an opportunity to learn during a game is going to improve your performance. It allows you to take something from a mistake, make an adjustment, and then play better as a result moving forward. Making these types of in-game adjustments instead of losing your composure is honestly what begins to separate you from other competitors. In addition to helping you remember to learn something from the mistake in the moment, which is a key part to the strategy of managing your composure. Shifting your overall perspective in terms of managing mistakes will reduce the initial frustration that you feel over the long term. Now, this change is definitely going to take a lot more time, so you got to make sure that you don't expect it to happen overnight. But the more you truly believe mistakes are simply teachers that, are just going to help you grow and improve as a player, the less angry you will become when you do make a mistake. But once again, that doesn't mean you're going to be jumping up and down for joy after you make a mistake. I really don't think your coach will be too pleased with that. But what it does mean is that you come to realize the ineffectiveness of getting upset and that mistakes, while not something that's necessarily fun to have happen, can serve as valuable lessons on your path to becoming a better player, if you see them in a more productive light. Now, like I said, if you haven't watched the previous 3 videos, I've linked them in the description below. And if you're interested in learning more about one-on-one mental performance coaching, go ahead and click the link that I put in the description below. Thank you for watching this video, and if you found this video and the series in general helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I put out new videos each day on sports psychology and mental training.